I am Gregory, and this is Pinsane. So this is the Jinhao 100 skeleton, black with gold trim. And I have to say, well, first of all, this is not going to be a full review of this pen. If you would like to see a full review of the pen, be sure and check out Chris Rapp 52's video because he did a much better job than I would. So yes, be sure and check out his video. When I watched his video, I was waiting for him to talk about a couple things, and he didn't. So I'm going to address the Jinhao 100 skeleton's dark little secret. Yeah. Now, this may or may not be true, but these are my impressions, so keep that in mind. But when I received this and took it out of the package, I was shocked at how light this pen was. Yeah, typically with these skeleton style pens, they're very heavy pens. I believe Chris kind of chalked that up as the design being much more thin, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that's the case. Now, it could be that this is just an entirely different kind of metal than other skeleton pens. But to me, my initial impression was this is plastic. The whole thing feels like plastic to me. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty convincing, but I still believe this is plastic. I could be wrong again, but it just as a comparison, and one thing that makes me believe that, when I pick this pen up and feel it, the quote-unquote metal basically feels room temperature or warm. But I have a couple other pens here. One you're probably familiar with is the Asvine V169. When I pick this up, it feels cold. And then we also have the Conklin Endura Deco Crest. Again, I pick this up, it feels cold. So that is one thing that makes me believe that this is actually plastic. These both feel cold when I pick them up. This does not. And then, of course, there's the weight issue. So let's let's compare weights here. All right. So first, this one. 29.45 grams. The Conklin, 46.89 grams. And the Asvine, 52.58 grams. That's a big difference. Now let's compare, again, the Jinhao, 29.43, and let's bring in a plastic, an all plastic, well, mostly plastic Jinhao, 16.35. $16.35 is pretty darn close to 29.44. So that's a little suspicious there. But what makes it even more suspicious is inside the pen. Now, Chris talked about this like it was a quote-unquote upgrade. The cartridge. And, you know, you might suspect that that's the case. But I think this is the dirty little secret. I think when they made the pen, they thought, this pen feels incredibly light and people are going to be disappointed in the price we're charging for it. So let's add a little weight to it. So before we weigh this, let's weigh a regular Jinhao converter, 1.9, and this one, 3.74. And that's pretty close to 2 grams. And if you see Chris Rapp's video, he mentions 2 grams in there, so he was just about dead on. And that 2 grams is coming from the converter. So this, I feel, is the dirty little secret, because why would they go from this style of converter to suddenly covering it in metal? I believe that's a first for them. And this, you can feel it. Just holding it, you can feel it. Again, that's 3.73 grams. That's, yeah. And again, this one, that's a big difference. So I'm not so sure that was necessarily just a design choice. They said, you know what, let's throw some brass on here. And add some weight to this pen, because this pen feels super, super light. And again, you know, this is just my impression. So whether or not this is, you know, actually the case, you know, that's perhaps up to conjecture, but that's my impression. And I mean, this, it feels like plastic. So, and again, I could be wrong. I could put it to the test and deliberately try and break these. I don't think it would, if it's plastic, if it truly is plastic, I don't think it would be that difficult. But my other guess is maybe this is a different kind of metal than the other pens, the Asvine and the Conklin. But yeah, that's, I don't know. It's suspect. I don't know. But you know, my impression was I was disappointed. This feels very light. If you feel like the other pens are too heavy for you, this is probably your solution. But if you're buying this expecting it to feel like those, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. Yeah. But yeah, that is definitely suspicious. But anyway, just a quick look at this Jinhao 100 skeleton and my initial impression of it. And again, I haven't even written with it yet, but again, I wanted to talk about aspects that Chris didn't cover in his video. So yeah, anyway, let me know what you think. And do you think that's plastic, or is it maybe aluminum? I don't know, but it's very, very light. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.